that pretty much just happened to me. I finally got my first big, I won't say big break, but my first role where I got to explore and got to go out of my regular. And so on Black Mafia Family, I got cast as the polar opposite. It's like
Mm.
edgy. Like I'm telling you guys, when you guys see it, you're not even gonna recognize me. You're gonna be like, who is that? I have on a completely different haircut, different hair color. My name is Lawanda. It's very edgy, very like, people getting shot. It's so much. And
Mm.
it was so different for me, but I was so, you don't understand how everybody keeps asking me like about all the shows I've done, but my favorite to talk about is Black Mafia because I'm like, that's the one where I really feel like I was able to show a different side where
That's very
I,
cool.
yes, yes. So it's so exciting when you do get a chance to, and now it's so funny because ever since then, I've been getting the cop roles and the cop, and the fighting roles, but because they were able to see it, like you said, like Jason said, they were able to, once they, what was it you said, the weapons?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, once they see it and they're like, oh, she can do that, then that door opens, but like you said, someone else said about being cast, don't be afraid of riding that wave as long as you can. Because at the end of the day, you're being cast for something and the other opportunities will come.
Absolutely. And again, you're in control of that, right? So
Right.
to the as much as you can be. I always say control what you can control and forget about the rest. Of course,
Mhm.
you're not going to guarantee anything for yourself, but you are in control of like, hey, I would like to focus on this now.
Right.
And to back to something I'd love to discuss with you is like, how were you showcasing that prior to the ability to get into Black Mafia Family, where there's now some production proof out there, so to speak,
Yes. Yes.
showcasing you in this way, in this storytelling format that allows other people to make that jump. How are
Right.
you putting together a package essentially that Jason or your agent or anyone else could use so that they could start to see, oh, I see how Sydney could fit into these roles. Now I can conceptualize that and I see how she could solve these problems for us potentially.
Yes, yes. So for me personally, the way I was able to showcase that was through an actual audition. However, before I even got with Jason, like the biggest thing I tell actors all the time is to just like, because I always feel like when you're a basketball player, football player, you're able to just go outside and practice. Like, but for actors, sometimes we feel like, because I used to say to my mom, what can I do to practice? Like, what? Like, there's nothing I can do. She's like, there's plenty you can do. There's so much you can do to create reels and things. So I started being like, okay, let me go to class. And there are all these actors that are trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to get stuff on tape. And we just started creating. We just started like, whether it's on the phone or whether it's a friend's camera, we would just put stuff on tape and make little short films and things. And so my mom's friend was creating a short film, and it was called Jade. And she actually, it actually did really well. But long story short, she was like, okay, this is your chance to show that kick-ass girl. So I played the villain in Jade.
Mm.
And it was this tiny set, tiny budget. And a lot of the time people are like, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. No, you should, because that was how I got things on tape to go to Jason and AMT and be like, okay, here I am.
Look at this.
And
That's
yes,
amazing.
yes. Like you have to create it yourself, because if you wait for someone, like I said before, you'll be waiting forever. So as long as you are, and like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a small budget. I would get on Actors Access all the time and submit myself to things, small, short films and low budgets and everything, just so I could have that footage and get
Mhm.
things for my reel to be able to pitch to an agent or pitch to a manager, which in turn got me an audition. So it's been like a, stepping stone process where it's like, okay, let me get this on tape to send to an agent. Got an agent. Okay, let me get the opportunity for this audition. Got that audition. Okay, let me get the opportunity to get a cop a fighter audition. Got that audition. So, but it starts with you. Like I said before, if I didn't do those short films, if I didn't do the small things, it wouldn't have led to anything,
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, God bless your agent, but he wasn't submitting you for that stuff. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? Like, again,
Yes.
like the man cares about your career to a certain
Mhm.
extent, but he
Yeah.
also has other clients to worry about. He has a business himself to run.
Mhm.
He's not out there doing that thing, which
Right.
were the important steps to develop
Mhm.
these not
Yes.
only this craft capability that you were working on expanding, right, this
Mhm.
type of energy and these types of characters, right, that you could showcase, but getting that footage so that eventually you could get to the point where you could share this with him and say, now I
Yes.
have some proof of me in these roles, which
Exactly.
helps people understand, oh, I see what she's going for here, I see what makes her unique in this, I see that she actually has some skill set here, I see that she can,
Mhm.
again, help us solve a problem. And now
Right.
you've given him some great sales material so that when he pitches you for these things, he's not just saying, hey, I know that she's done all these other roles, which are completely outside of what we're submitting her
Yes,
for. And I
yes.
just want you to imagine that she's capable of
Exactly.
doing this. Most casting directors are going to be like, if they don't know who you are, they're going to be like, you're, what are you talking about? I have
Right.
2,500 other submissions coming in. I don't have time to imagine anything. I'm trying to
Exactly,
solve some
right.
problems because this
Right.
is a business. Okay,
Yes,
fine. But if he comes in and says, hey, I want you to see her in this way. Yes, her resume speaks on this side of the fence, so to
yes,
say, but here's a
yes.
headshot of her in this sort of more edgy personality, and here's
Right,
some footage, even if
right.
it's a self tape, right, of you killing it in an audition for like 30,
Exactly.
60 seconds or whatever. That's great.
That's
That's
huge.
something that
Ex
you made
Mhm.
happen. You created that opportunity for yourself, Sydney. You
Right.
built those details up
Yes.
so that you could actually come out and actually have some career success in another path.
Exactly. So true. And like I said before, it's like a feeling of like, I'm just sitting here. There's nothing I can do. Like, I don't and the crazy thing is
Pray
every
but
time
move your
I
feet, right?
right, exactly. Exactly. And the first time, like whenever someone comes to me about acting, the first thing they say is like, "Can you give me an agent?" And I'm like, I'm not trying to make everybody start from the bottom or anything, but at the end of the day, I'm like, no, like make sure you get the stuff on tape first because that helps so much. Because like you said, if I call an agent right now and say, okay, I have a friend who's so and so, and they're like, okay, let me see. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, like I don't
It's
really
like
have
any bit.
anything
It's like
on
going
her,
to Shark
but
Tank. It's like going
right.
on Shark Tank without anything
Yes,
to show. You're like,
exactly.
I can do
Just
this.
trust
Well,
me.
where's your pitch package? Where's your video?
Right.
Where are your testimonials of other
Right.
people who have seen what you do? And like, where's
Yes,
your product? If you have nothing to
exactly.
show me,
Right.
everybody wants to come
Right.
in here and pitch me,
Right.
but I
Right.
need proof.
Exactly. So true. So true. So that's what I say is in the beginning, just focus on the craft and get it on tape. Like you said, while even if it's a self tape, just doing monologues during the pandemic, I was same thing. I'm so bored. There's nothing to do. I have no job. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start putting myself on tape, doing monologues that are things that I don't know how to do. I don't
Mm,
necessarily know how to um, do an English accent. Like, let me work on that. So there's so much that you can be doing. So when that audition comes, bam, here's Sydney doing this, or bam, here's so and so doing this. So
yeah.
I think
Not
that's
to mention the experience that you're working on preparing yourself, even if
mhm,
if you're not able to create something that is good to submit to them when something comes along, you're
mhm,
prepared to actually do the audition at that point in
right,
time at a high
exactly.
caliber, so it then becomes something that you can use later, of course, if you want.
Yes, ex-
And also, I think that what's important here is it's not just anything, right?
mhm,
I think this is it's important to clarify here in our last few moments together that your focus on what were the things that you wanted to do was
mhm.
not just like across the board. You weren't like, let me
Yeah,
work on Shakespeare. Let me like,
yeah,
do
right.
some improv comedy or something. Like I want to be
Mhm.
a clown or whatever. Like it
Yes.
wasn't, which is there's nothing wrong with any of these
Right,
choices. If
right,
it is
right,
something
right.
that is more aligned with you, your
Yeah,
energy, the things that you love, your values, your morals, the things that you care about,
right.
the things that you can authentically back up. You're not
Ex-
just choosing something at random because you think that other people are succeeding at it. And so therefore you want to try to do it as well, or you think it's
mhm.
the path that you should be on, or you think that it's what you're supposed to be doing. It has to be connected to something that actually drives you
Right.
because that's what's going to allow you to bring your unique self to it, the
Yes,
things that speak through you, and then it
exactly.
becomes something that is innately authentic to you. Now you have something that you can compete with.
So true, so true. I have a friend and his whole family is Jamaican. He's I think he's from New York, and he 100% knows the Jamaican culture, everything. And so he decided, same thing. He's like, this is something authentic to me. My whole family is from Jamaica. So I'm going to work on my Jamaican accent. He is now
Right.
recurring on a show as a Jamaican man, and like 100% believable. But that just opened the whole. So now he keeps getting auditions for a Jamaican man. And he's like, that's not my real accent. But like you said, it's something that's authentic to him that he can connect with. He can go to his mom and his dad and get pointers from them and things that he knows this role is something that I can really ride out and something that I can connect to. So, and like I said, it's a recurring role for him. But
Yeah,
him
what is he doing? He's just built a revenue stream for his business in a specific niche
exactly
market, right?
right,
Going back to the orange juice example, for
right,
him, I don't know, it's like orange slices or something like
right,
that. I don't know,
right,
let's say. And he's just like, dang, people are really digging this orange slice thing. They know
yes,
nothing about my juice. My
right.
juice is
Wait
rocking.
till
It's
y'all see
it's
this.
like that's where he's built his skills, right? And
Yes,
like, maybe training or whatever. Like he's got some serious skills maybe in this other thing. But
yes,
dang, they just keep eating up these slices. So what am I gonna
right.
do? I'm gonna sell these slices for a while,
Mhm.
build
Exactly.
up revenue from that. So my business has cash flow, which
Yes,
I can use to my advantage and decide I want to take a risk or I want to make a leap, right?
yes,
And make an adjustment or move in a different direction. And so
right,
now what do I got to do? Well, that might be a $1,500 investment, right? I got to go spend $600 on new headshots. I got to
right.
maybe pay somebody $800 to shoot some footage for me to get this thing going. Whereas
Exactly.
before, if you were just trying to like grab at anything,
Mhm,
you're spending all this energy and maybe even money
mhm.
without the ability to build up resources so that you can take these major steps in your
Right,
business, in your career, make these advancements. But when you got something that's working, even if
right.
it's not the thing that you want to do, that's
Yes,
fine. You're in total control of that. You can do it as long or as little as you like. But
exactly.
if you think about it long term, now you see it for what it is, which is an opportunity to
Right.
grow your business maybe further down the line because you took advantage of this moment in time.
Right.